Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be working on my craziest, biggest challenge yet, restoring a 1994 EZ-GO TXT that was involved in a fire. I'm Jeff, welcome to Kart Crazy. So before I spin the camera around and show you today's project, just wanted to talk real quick about my Facebook page, and it's actually called Kart Crazy, if you can believe that. I know, how original, right? Check it out on Facebook. Hopefully you can see that. Kart Crazy, it's got the picture of the red precedent that we redid here about a year ago now, I guess already. And 58 members, okay? One of those is me, so 57 of you are on there. Even if you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, you can still be a part of the Facebook page. And I'm going to do try to get involved in a little bit more behind the scenes. Hopefully bring you along when we purchase these carts. We'll do maybe some short videos there, put those on Facebook. If nothing else, pictures, and you'll be informed way ahead of time when the videos are coming out. So I like to do that. It's also a great way for me to interact with all of you. We could do questions and answers. You can message me on Facebook. That's a lot easier than email if you just have a quick question that maybe I can help you out with. Not that I'm going to be able to answer every single question, but I've tinkered with probably close to a dozen of these now and getting a little bit more familiar each time. So go ahead and join the Facebook page if you want, and no charge. It's Facebook. It's free. Might as well. And yeah, let's have some fun with that. So I got to prepare you a little bit before I spin the camera around and show you what we're working with. This one is rough. How do I say it? Well, let me just show you. Alright, here's your first look, and you can kind of guess why I'm going to name this one Meltdown. Had a little bit of a small problem kind of in this area. Not so much over there or there, but right through here. But the good news is it didn't burn to the ground. I guess that's the good news. Oh, let me get the seat off of here so we can show you what happened. So I'm going to give you the whole story on this cart. The cart actually wasn't listed for sale. I'm always cruising around on Marketplace looking for a bargain. He had for sale the back seat kit, which was on here, that was basically new, and the description was basically the seats for sale, the golf cart had a fire, yada yada. So I messaged him and I said, look, what are you going to do with the cart? And he said, well, we were just going to haul it to the junkyard. And I'm like, well, don't do that. I'd be interested. I asked him a couple questions about the year and so on and so forth. And he's like, okay, well, it's at my cabin, which is like 2 hours away, and we won't be getting down there for a while, but I'll let you know. And some time went by, and I kind of forgot about it. And all of a sudden he messaged me and said, hey, you still interested? And I said, yeah, what do you want? And he said, $100. And I'm like, sold. And he said, I'll deliver it. And I'm like, even better. So he actually brought it to me. Still had the batteries in it. Some of them were kind of melty and burnt. But as you know, batteries are worth about, I don't know, 15, 20 bucks a piece. So basically this thing was delivered to me, and I'm into it probably less than 50 bucks. So I really have nothing to lose at this point. And that's kind of our starting point. This has, I believe it to be a 94, just from decoding the serial number in the VIN. It has a metal body versus a plastic, so I'm not super familiar on EZ-GOs. I gotta, I guess, learn up on that a little bit. And you know me enough by now to know that none of this is going to get used anyway, so we can basically strip this down and throw all that away. It actually looks like the dash probably is in good shape, so we'll be able to save that. Gas pedal, brake pedal, so on, the frame. Bushings, those probably need to be done. That's pretty typical. But doing some more plunking around on Facebook. I'm a member of a couple of golf cart groups, I guess you'd say. And I found a guy that had a controller, an all-tracks controller, which is kind of an upgraded controller, and a motor and a switch, because he did some changing around on his cart. Pretty cheap, so he's sending that to me. I just sent him a label, I think the day before yesterday, and that's on its way to me. I'll probably have that next week, but I'm not even close to being ready for that. We're going to need to check out all the wiring going up to the brake pedal. I don't think that got hurt. In fact, I know it didn't, because I can see it coming through right there and it's not melted. The motor in the back, you know, we could use that motor. He's sending me a motor. I can decide on what I'm going to do there. It doesn't look like that got hurt. Maybe that, you know, might have had something to do with the cause of the fire, so we might want to just swap it out anyway. Whew, I'm giving you a lot of information here, but the main thing today is I just wanted to get it in the garage, clean it up, start pulling it down. It's kind of half tore down already because, you know, he took the back seat kit off, so there's 4 bolts and the roof and everything can come off. You know, you can see the flames. You know, I didn't, maybe kissed it a little bit, okay, but it's not melted, so more smoke damage probably than anything. Probably not going to reuse the roof anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And I know I'm rambling on and on like I always do, but let's tear into it. Let's see what we got. I'm kind of excited. We'll go through and get all the garbage out. It looks like just pine needles and stuff back here. I did notice when I was pushing it in here, check this out. If they're not all brittle, we got a whole handful of zip ties. Those will come in really handy. So we're already up, you know, $2 on zip ties right there. There's a couple of golf balls which I'll never use and probably throw in the trash. Spray nozzle probably leaks and makes a mess all over your pants when you use it. But what do we got over here? Man, we could do some serious carpentry work with those. I think you'd need a 10-pound maul to drive them in, but once you get them in, it ain't going anywhere, that's for sure. So there's a handful of those. Water bottle that I'll throw away, of course, but man, I've been chomping at the bit to get on this. I've had some other things going on with getting the new shop built and the house that's attached to it. Oh, I gotta show you this. Of course, that battery tray is rusted just like the last one, and like most of them are. This one's even a little worse, probably. But look at this find. This is a brand new, I think it's even an EZ-GO battery tray that'll drop right in there. I've looked those up online. I think they're $200 or real close to it. I found that on Marketplace. The guy wanted $15. He gave me his address. He's like, I'll set it outside, come and get it. Well, I left him a 20 because that was a good find right there. And we're going to use that right out of the gate to get that nasty, crusty one out of there. And anyway, enough rambling. Let's get this thing tore apart. Alright, well that went pretty quick to this point. Cleaned up a bunch of trash. Gonna go ahead and start drilling rivets. That's one thing I don't care for with the EZ-GOs is rivets, rivets, rivets. And no, I'm not a frog, but there are just a ton of rivets that hold this all together. I will have to grind the heads of these off. It's just a little 3/16 Allen and they're seized right in there. So I'll cut the heads off, get my bracket out of the way, and then I can get a vice grips or something on and get those out the rest of the way. But yeah, the main goal for today is just kind of get it stripped down and see where we're at from there. Alright, so I gotta show you this. Pulled the floor mat up, and you'll never believe what I found. That's right, more rivets. Now, you don't have to do it this way, but it just saves a lot of time. I just zip the head of these, whoa, there it goes. Head of these bolts off. You can see how crusty they are, so I may need a little heat just so they don't break off in there. Same with these rocker panel bolts. I don't know if you can see that real good. It's glaring in the camera, but get those heads off. I'll take a pry bar in here and pop those up. I just don't have the patience to fool around. Probably not going to use the same bolt holes anyway, or if I do, I'll retap them or do something different. But got most of the rivets out here, and I'm trying to remember. I know there's more in the back here somewhere. This is a little bit different year than the last one, so they're probably located in a different spot. This looks plastic, so maybe here, I don't know. We'll figure it out. It's not that complicated. So the dash is literally, I think, 10 or 12 rivets up underneath, and then there's 2 push pins that go through kind of the glove box area. You just pop those up with a pry bar. Side panels came off separately. Something holding this on yet. I didn't look real close, but oh, there's a rivet right there. That's probably it. Back plastic. It does come apart here. But since I'm going down to the frame, I'll probably pull these 4 push pins that are left, pull that all off in one chunk. I'm assuming there's probably something holding it up underneath. This side, you know, we don't have to worry too much about getting the push pins out. The fire kind of did that for us, so shouldn't be too bad from here. Alright, basically just pulled that plastic off. There was a couple of plastic hold downs and some things, nothing too serious. Did find a cool little fact. Of course, I'm in northwest Arkansas, as some of you know, but look at this. This was up under the dash. Abilene Country Club, and I was thinking Abilene, Texas, but I guess it's Abilene, Kansas, so kind of burst my bubble a little bit. Kansas, Texas, they're both about probably the same distance. But so this cart hasn't always been in this area, so that's kind of just a fun little fact, I guess. Probably about all we're going to do on this episode. I'm going to clean up a little bit. It's getting to be about dinner time, and next episode we'll pressure wash, tear into this wiring mess. Basically got to get that old controller off of there. Got to order some new cables, so we'll get into that. Like I said, I've got a new controller, a new selector box, new battery tray, motor. I say new, a lot of it's used, and that's kind of what's going to make this a little more interesting, because I'm going to save some money on getting used parts. So thanks for coming along on this episode. Next time we'll dig into some cleanup, some wiring, and probably some paint. So we'll see you next time on Kart Crazy.